Welcome back. All right, time to talk about statistical leaders in the National Hockey League. And again, every time I do this, it's going to be a little bit different. There will be different numbers that are on the board, kind of having fun with it. So let's go ahead and jump in with points leader, which is Nathan MacKinnon. 7 goals, 23 assists, 30 points. He's been absolutely fantastic for the Colorado Avalanche to the surprise of no one. Kaprizov, 9 goals, 19 assists, 28 points, has been pretty darn near as good as MacKinnon. And some could argue him for the Hart. I know I've started to see those arguments out there. Eichel, 5 goals, 19 assists, 24 points. Natchez, also with 24 points via 8 goals, 16 assists. And Cale Makar, also with 24 points, 6 goals, 18 assists, 24 points. So there's 5 guys here that you can make the argument, are in the running for the Art Ross. I would say that MacKinnon, Kaprizov, and Eichel are the most likely of those 5 to stay in that race, but you guys can let me know your thoughts. Or if somebody else might charge up and decide that they're going to take the crown home for the Art Ross this year. Your goals leader is Cole Caulfield. He's streaky, but right now it's looking like he's starting another hot streak. He's got 12 goals. There are 5 players right behind him with 11 goals. So this race is probably going to go right to the wire, and there's some new guy named Ovechkin that's got into the race as well. He's sitting, I believe, with 10 goals so far this season. Your assist leader is Nathan MacKinnon with 23, and 19 is the next closest to him there. So MacKinnon, if we had an assist award, which we don't, but if we did, MacKinnon would be in the running for that. Plus minus, for as flawed a stat as it is, it can tell you when somebody's having a really good time of it. Dmitry Orlov in Carolina, a plus 14. Kirill Kaprizov in Minnesota, also a plus 14. So you can add that to the Hart argument if you'd like. Again, I know it's a flawed stat, but it is interesting to look at. And Kaprizov leading the league, it can't hurt his odds at being a Hart Trophy winner. Penalty minutes leader is Tanner Jeannot. So even though he has been suspended the last couple of games for the Kings, he still leads the league in penalty minutes with 36. We'll see how the penalty minutes trend as the season rolls along, because it feels like it's been a while since we had anybody even at like 150 penalty minutes in a season. So it usually gets dialed back as the season rolls along. Your hits leader, Kiefer Sherwood, with the Vancouver Canucks, has 84 and is pretty far ahead in terms of overall hits in the NHL. Lauzon second with like 77. Sherwood's been fantastic in Vancouver, no takebacks. Block shots, Rasmus Andersson now leads the league in block shots with 57 for the Calgary Flames. He's had a very good start to the season. And I say start even though we're getting close to that 20 game mark, and that's where I start doing grading and report cards on the teams. So Andersson, to me, if I was giving grades to players, I would give Andersson a pretty high grade for the Calgary Flames. Giveaways, not something you want to be the leader in, and Erik Karlsson's the leader for the Pittsburgh Penguins with 35. There's a high risk, high reward when it comes to Karlsson, but offensively it hasn't been there in Pittsburgh for him this season, not like it has been in previous years in his career, wherever he's been playing, and so it makes those giveaways a little more prominent. And he had a really rough night against Carolina. I wouldn't be surprised if half of those were against Carolina. Takeaways, some people might be surprised to see Mike Matheson leading the way with 19, because I've seen some Habs fans not that impressed with how Matheson's been playing in recent weeks, but he leads the league in takeaways. So he's doing something right from that perspective. When we get to goaltending, your wins leader in the NHL is Connor Hellebuyck with 11. That surprises basically nobody. The Winnipeg Jets 14-1 so far going into tonight's game against the Rangers. Hellebuyck's been fantastic. Your save percentage leader, Jonathan Quick, 964 save percentage. It is a small sample size, but I still feel like it's impressive, and we should talk about Quick. Hellebuyck, in terms of starting goaltenders, leading the way. I think he has a 935 save percentage. So last I checked, that's pretty good too. So yeah, it's been fun to watch Jonathan Quick with the Rangers. I think they've definitely added years to his career. Time on ice leader among goaltenders is UC Saros. He has played 774 minutes and 6 seconds. And I would think with the numbers Wedgwood's put up so far this year, Saros is going to be leaned on a lot. We may see Saros, if he stays healthy all season, get into that 65 to 70 game range because Nashville needs some wins and they need him now. And that means putting Saros in net. You want your best goaltender in there. Now, for quality starts. Now, a quality start is when your goaltender gives you a save percentage of 900 or better. So saves 9 out of 10 shots or better than that. Jonathan Quick leads. He has had 3 quality starts out of 3, 100%. Freddie Anderson for Carolina, 4 for 4, so also 100%. Anthony Stolarz for Toronto, 8 quality starts out of 10. That's 80%. That's an excellent number. The expectation for Toronto was definitely not having a goaltender who was one of the better goaltenders in the NHL, but Stolarz has been that for them. And when I do a player power rankings tomorrow, I'm thinking about doing an updated goalie power rankings tomorrow just to see how things shake down now, because I think things will change, but I have a feeling Stolarz will still be on the list. Goals for per game for teams. The Winnipeg Jets lead with 4.47. That's too high. Anaheim at the bottom at 2.21. They've got to start scoring soon, I would think. Goals against per game, Winnipeg leads there as well, 2.07. There's way too many areas Winnipeg's leading in. At some point, things are going to change. But yeah, 2.07 goals against per game, which is excellent. Montreal's worst in the league at 4.13 goals against per game. Power plays, the Winnipeg Jets lead in that category at 41.9%. I don't think that's sustainable, but I think they're going to put up a very good number at the end of the year anyways. But 41.9 is too high. And St. Louis is at the bottom at 10.8% in the power play region. Penalty kill, the New York Rangers, ridiculous, 91.1%. So that's the top. And at the bottom is the Edmonton Oilers at an even 59%, which is historically bad. They can't stay that bad. They can't stay that bad because that number's just too low. It has to start coming up. That's going to be costing them games. Shots per game, and just looking at shots for per game, the Carolina Hurricanes, unsurprisingly, leading the league at 34.1. The Montreal Canadiens at the bottom with 24.5 shots per game. So Montreal needs to shoot more. We can have the discussion about whether or not Carolina needs to be a little more selective with their shots, but it's how they've played the game for years under Rod Brind'Amour. I don't think it's going to change. So is it going to be a busy week? Yeah, about the same as this week, which is kind of surprising because November, it feels like, is when the schedule's crazy. Maybe that crazy's delayed for around the end of the month when we get to American Thanksgiving and then into early December as well. This past week, we had 51 National Hockey League games. This coming week, starting tonight till next Monday, 49 games in the National Hockey League by my count. Keep in mind, any numbers that are wrong, any information that is wrong on any board, that is the entertainment guy's fault. He, in fact, on my last board, again, that San Jose video, put that San Jose beat Philadelphia in that shootout last night. I should have caught that, but, he puts these boards together. He's got to earn his keep somehow. And as I've said for years, the time that you don't find any errors at all on a whiteboard I put together is when you know there's a problem. So at any rate, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Can Winnipeg keep this up is a good question. I think it's a valid question. Montreal's defense has to get better. Anaheim's offense has to get better. And that St. Louis power play, I understand they're missing Thomas, but that's just too low. And again, Edmonton, that penalty kill has to get better than 59%. Tonight they're at home against the Islanders. We'll see how it does then. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.